Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about a news report that you've probably seen about black wealth, that the numbers are still way down. And I know I do my part to try to make a difference. And I made a video yesterday. That's why I didn't post it, because when I was looking at it and it was getting edited, I think it was a little bit too strong of a video, because I never want to, and not that I did it in that video, but I just think that some people might take the points that I made the wrong way. And I just don't want to get into doing that on this channel. But I decided to just come in, make this video again, and be more direct on what I want you to do. And really, overall, if you have bad credit, because I deal with all types of customers from all nationalities. And so if you're dealing with bad credit, you're going to need to do something about it to change your situation. And one of the reasons why I decided not to also go with the video is that it's more than it just being a thing where a certain group is being held down. I'm seeing where it's more of a class is being held down. And that means that you have people of all races across the board in those classes. Now, not to say that there's, special circumstances that we as African Americans face. I'm not saying that that doesn't exist. And I'll probably be doing another a live video where I'll invite everyone to it, but it's going to probably be more focused on what we see in our community, because I think with my direct connection to the community on a business level and a personal level, that I could just express what I see, and I think it'll be better with being able to have that back and forth rather than just recording a video and people might take it the wrong way. But before I get into the solutions, this is what I want to point out what I saw in the news report. It said average FICO score. And what something that I want you to start doing when you hear the word FICO score, I want you to think of that as wealth building. Wealth building. Don't just think of it as a FICO score anymore. Don't think of it as just a score. Everybody wants to have that high score. They want to get that high score so they can get other stuff. But what I'm going to show you is that FICO score is what determines what you're going to be able to keep of the money that you have right now. So think about that. If you had, let's just say you got $100 in your pocket right now, and you have the choice to buy. You had a choice to buy one item, this one item. And depending on your FICO score, that same one item could be, let's just say, $80 for a $100 value that someone else would pay. Or if you have a bad, low FICO score, you paid $100 for that same thing. This is what people are doing every day, and they're giving away their wealth. And it's, for me, I'll just put it out there. It tears me up, because it's like it's a slight change. Like for me with business, I'll relate it that way. With me with business, one of the things that I understood very quickly being in business is that I control every aspect of the business. If business got slow, if business was good, whatever it was, I controlled every aspect. That means that if I wanted to make a choice, I could lay people off, I could fire people, I could lower expenses one way or another way. I had full control. And when I think about consumers on an individual level with a FICO score, it is that same thing. It's just that you're running your personal finances as a business. You're actually able to do things to cut expenses on the very same things that you would always or they're not always, but that you were going to spend money on anyways. And that gives you a different level of power. Just think, like how I am as a business owner, having that level of power where I could just cut things. Everything would still remain the same for the business, but I could cut the expenses in just a snap. I can't even snap my finger. I could cut the expenses like that. And the same thing could happen for you with your credit, with the way that you would be able to save money with the things that you're already spending money on. So I'm going to break some of those things down in a second, because it's going to be like a direct solution. This is a direct call for action for anyone who has bad credit and low FICO score. This is a call to action for me that you got to do something about it. You got to start doing something about it now. Don't wait. Don't make another New Year's resolution in 2024. No, I want you to get started right now. So now let's just look at the numbers. Average FICO score, Asians, 745. Now, there's a lot of things that go into that. A lot of stuff that go into that. I'm not going to even get into that because that's where I kind of got it with the other video. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm just going to talk about the numbers, and then we'll have a conversation on a live Zoom meeting or live on YouTube where we'll discuss, in detail about these things. For the average white, non-Hispanic, 734, Hispanic, 701, black, 677. Now, I will mention this. These scores do not represent the true numbers. For I have Asian customers, white, Hispanic, and black. I would tell you from experience, and the news people, they investigate, but they do it in small samples. I've actually reviewed getting close now to 200,000 credit reports. 200,000 credit reports since 2006. And I can tell you that the scores are actually lower. I'm not going to get into the numbers, but I can tell you that it's actually lower. And I believe if you go to Credit Karma's website, which is one of the bureaus, I believe TransUnion runs that whole thing, you will see that the average scores, it'll tell you by your score, and it'll give you a little up and down arrow about what's the average scores, and these are not the true average scores. So now let's get into, they're lower, across the board, lower for everybody. So now let's talk about the solutions. And you can see that I had already wrote on my board yesterday. Let's talk about the solutions. Small changes make a big difference. That's what this whole thing is about on this video. I'm keeping myself focused. Wake up. I want you to get a piece of paper, get a pencil or pen out, because these small changes that I'm going to talk about are going to make a big difference in your life. I'm talking about transforming your life with the things that you're already doing. Remember, the easiest thing for you to do is something that you already have in your hands, that all you have to do is kind of change it around, tweak it, and make it better. It's just like going to your refrigerator and you want to make dinner tonight. The stuff is already there. All you have to do is put it together and make that dinner, rather than having to go out and buy something else or go out to the store and get some stuff and bring it back. I'm making it very easy for you. What I want you to do, number one, on that paper, I want you to put small changes make a big difference. I want you to put that on the paper. Small changes make a big difference. Then what I want you to do is I want you to write down on a piece of paper every bill, household investments, remember that's what I call them, every household investment, quote, bill that you pay. Every one of them. If you pay rent, if you have mortgage, light bill, I want you to write down everything. Some of the stuff you're not going to be able to change. Some of the stuff you will be able to change. I want you to write it all down on a piece of paper. If you're serious. Now, see, this is where some of you might be like wandering off, or, getting ready to go to another video or whatever you're about to do. Do you want to change your life, or do you want stuff to stay the same? I'm asking you that question. You can only answer that question. Write down on that paper, small changes make a big difference. And I want you to write down your auto loan, your house, if you got rent, your credit cards, personal loans, student loans, whatever you got, I want you to write it all down. And in the column, I want you to write down the payment that you're making on that. And then I want you to write down, if you had good credit, what would potentially be the difference in the money that you would spend every month on that item. If you had good credit, what would be the difference that you would have to pay every month on that item over what you're paying right now? So I'm going to give you some examples. On an auto loan, the average with good to excellent credit, which I would say is 700 to 725, and I've done this before in the past, is that I got a 2.91% interest rate versus a person who had bad credit starting at 6% plus. And with Santander, I've seen some people with 20% interest rates. Think about the savings that you would have with that. The savings, we're talking about money in your pocket for something that you're already spending. And we'll get into in a minute what you can do to change that over. Obviously, it would be to refinance, but we're just looking at it for what it is, just to show you that you have extra money right now. Right now, that small change will make a big difference in your life. It would also allow you to be able to start investing in your future for wealth, because that's where your wealth is going. Is it going on this side? So a house payment, 3.75% versus 6%. This was the rate that I was at when I had a mortgage. It was 3.75%. I know that it's up now. The rates are up right now. But even, and it was at 6% with a lower credit score. Think about the difference. We're talking about, in some of the examples that I've done, on a overall loan, we're talking about like $400,000 to $500,000 difference, depending on the price of the house. On a monthly payment, having this payment versus that payment, we're talking about, depending on the house, you could be saving like $1,300 to $1,500 per month in your pocket for something that you're already spending money on. That could be the difference in the house. Even if you're renting right now and you have good credit, you would be able to put yourself into a situation to, number one, live in a better place, and then number two, to get yourself into a situation to where you would be able to get you a house. Like you're already going to be paying rent. And if you're able to have good credit and be able to get qualified, you're going to be able to lower your expenses as soon as you move into that house. And you're not going to have a landlord over your head either. Next thing is credit cards. And everything I'm talking about is from personal experience also. Credit cards, 0% versus 16.5 to 26.65, which is what's being offered on some of the cards right now. I pay 0% interest on my cards because I pay off my balances every month. No matter which card it is, I pay off the balances every month. Even if you're not able to do that, if you have good credit, they will either, number one, have a lower interest rate for you, or you can always go and request that they give you the 0% again for another year renewal. Think about the money that you would save just by doing that, or you just flip it to another card. You can just flip it over to another card with 0% interest. These companies, they're in the business of just hoping that you end up not being able to pay it off. That's their gamble. Your thing that you want to do, understanding how valuable your good credit would be, is to use their money and use it so you could use it to do whatever you need to do, but you pay the lowest amount of interest back. And right now, the lowest amount of interest back is 0%. And you could say that I actually make money on that because of the rewards that I get back. So think about this. You're utilizing their money to do stuff, you pay it off, and then they give you rewards in the end. So you're actually making money on their money. The next one is personal loans, 4% to 1,000%. Because 1,000%, you might be saying, well, who's getting a 1,000% personal loan? Most people with bad credit, you want to know where they go get their personal loan from? They get it from a payday loan store. That's where they get it from. There are some states, did you know this, that allows 2,000% interest on a payday loan. My state of Wisconsin allows a 1,000% interest on a payday loan. You can go and get a good payday loan right now, depending on where your score is and other things that might be on your credit. But you could be at about a 4% to 6% on a personal loan. So just looking at this, and hope you have a good list, that you have a nice list also, you would be able to make a big difference with making those small changes. Just do the exercise. Make a commitment. Just don't just think that this is just something that I just threw out there for you to do. These are the things, like when stuff goes wrong for people, or things go wrong in my life where I'm like, I got to make some adjustments. Really, some of the times the smallest adjustments make big differences. And this is one right here where I just described it to you. You've probably seen this on, where you read books and seen stuff with Dave Ramsey and all types of stuff where they tell you to do this type of thing. If you have and you haven't done it, I hope that I've inspired you to go do it just by my words, because this is something that you can do that will make a huge difference. And then you will see that you have that extra money. But even before you do that, this is just the exercise that you got to do so you can know, like if you deeply knew inside that this is the situation you're in, but you could be right here by just working on your credit, would you do it? Or would you just say, well, just throw up your hands, nothing can be done? Which person are you? Are you the person that's going to just sit there and let this stuff work on you? Or are you going to take power and work on it so you can change your situation? And some of this stuff is not going to be easy. This stuff is not going to be overnight. It takes work. But if you're willing to work, the time is going to pass regardless. Time is going to pass regardless. Because some people, I hear this a lot, where some people be like, well, my credit is too bad, or it's going to take too much time. Time is not going to stand still for you who don't want to work on your credit. Time is not going to stand still for you because you just decide to throw your hands up. It's going to be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line, and you might be watching me on a video again talking about, hey, you need to do this, instead of going over to my other channel and let's talking about starting a business or something for yourself. All right, so if you need help with your credit, you can visit our website, thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process. That's the way that we repair credit. If you can follow that process, if you can allow us to do that process, we want to work with you. If you need your credit reports and scores, because everything starts there, go to the website, your3scores.com, grab your reports. And if you decide to sign up with us, that one works right with our software. That's going to give you TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports, and all 3 scores, and all of the furniture information, and all of the comment information, so we can know what we're dealing with and how we can put together a strategy to work on that particular negative item. If you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters, statute of limitations, debt validation, cease and desist, collection activities letter. Use the one that pertains to your situation. It has instructions on there. I'm just not just giving you the letters. It has instructions. Read it and use the one that pertains to your specific situation. Please subscribe to the channel. Please post your questions and comments.